We live in an era where information has never been more accessible. With a single tap of a screen, we can unlock the sum of human knowledge on productivity, wellness, longevity, and behavioral science. We download the apps, buy the books, and subscribe to the channels, believing that the only thing standing between our current selves and our ideal selves is a lack of data. We convince ourselves that if we can just find that one missing piece of advice, that perfect breakdown of habit formation, everything will suddenly click into place. But deep down, we know this is an illusion. We know that accumulating more information is often just a sophisticated, socially acceptable form of procrastination. If knowing were enough, everyone who's ever read a nutrition label would eat perfectly, and everyone who knows smoking is harmful would have quit years ago. Instead, we find ourselves caught in a frustrating loop of cognitive dissonance. We sit on our couches scrolling through workout routines while planning to start tomorrow, or we look at our packed schedules and feel a wave of guilt for neglecting the things we claim matter most to us. When we fail to take action, we assume it is a personal failing, a fundamental flaw in our character, or a lack of raw willpower. We beat ourselves up for being lazy or undisciplined, telling ourselves that we must not want it badly enough. But this self-criticism completely misinterprets how human decision-making actually works. Health psychology has a name for this, the intention-behavior gap. Having the information, even having a genuine intention to change, doesn't reliably translate into actually changing. This gap is the vast, often painful space where our best intentions go to die. It is the distance between the intellectual assent to an idea and the physical execution of an action. When we think about our goals in the abstract, our brains operate in a state of high-level idealism. We imagine the version of ourselves who easily wakes up at dawn to exercise, or who effortlessly chooses the healthy meal over the convenient fast food. But when the alarm actually goes off, or when we are tired after a grueling workday, we are no longer operating in the abstract. We are operating in the immediate, concrete reality of the present moment, where fatigue, stress, comfort, and deeply established habit loops exert a massive pull. What closes the gap isn't more facts. It's things like a concrete plan for when and where the new behavior happens, confidence that you can actually do it, and small structural supports that make the new behavior easier than the old one. To bridge this divide, we must transition from forcing ourselves through sheer willpower to designing our lives strategically. A concrete plan means moving past vague wishes like exercising more or eating healthier, and instead defining the exact environmental triggers of time and space. It is deciding beforehand that on Tuesday at 7 in the evening, in the quiet of the kitchen, the meal prep will begin. This simple decision removes the friction of choice when our energy is lowest. Alongside this, we must build our confidence, not through empty motivational speeches, but through tiny, undeniable victories. We start with habits so small that failure is nearly impossible, establishing the neural pathways of consistency before trying to scale the effort. Equally crucial is the physical environment we inhabit. Human beings are deeply responsive to their physical surroundings, naturally choosing the path of least resistance. If the path to a positive habit requires multiple steps of preparation, while the path to a distraction is a single click away, the distraction wins almost every time. Small structural supports shift this balance in our favor. This might mean placing a book on your pillow in the morning so it is the first thing you see at bedtime, or keeping fresh produce pre-washed and visible at eye level in the refrigerator. By engineering our environment to make the desired behavior the default, we drastically reduce the cognitive energy required to make the right choice. If you already know what you should be doing and still aren't doing it, that's not a knowledge problem. It's a planning and structure problem. And that's actually good news because it's fixable. When we stop viewing our habits as a reflection of our moral character and start viewing them as a product of our environment and systems, the burden of shame lifts. We no longer need to wait for a sudden burst of motivation or a magical increase in self-discipline. We simply need to look at our daily routines with a builder's eye, adjusting the pathways, setting the triggers, and smoothing out the obstacles. The gap can be closed not by trying harder, but by planning better.